Do you want some good news? It's good news if you're vindictive and spiteful, which I am. Tesla. You want to see why their stock plummeted once it reopened after this? It's not good when your stock plummets after a big announcement like this. Penis music. Get it? Because it's like a normal car, but it's shinier. So, for those of you who don't know, Elon Musk has been promising automated cyber taxis, a thing that already exists, like in San Francisco, and is kind of terrible. He's been promising them for ages. And this is his announcement of them. They're still not here yet, but it's like, you know, the conceptual announcement, and it disappointed a lot of people because it's shit, is the problem.
Welcome to the We Robot Party. So we have
do the
quite a show
jump
for you tonight. I think you're gonna like
do
it.
the jump. You know he likes to do his like little boy jump. Wee, like his little boy jump. That's Elon's secret. He can't be a pedophile because he has the mind of an 8-year-old boy.
As you can see, I just arrived in the robotaxi, the cybercab, and there's 20 more where that came from.
Oh, 20?
So they've been traveling. There's no people in them, as you can see. The car's just going by with no people. And we have 50 fully autonomous cars here tonight. So you'll see Model Ys and the cyber cab, all driverless. You'll be able to take a...
His charisma astounds me. So I've made this point before. I'll make it again. Self-driving cars will never truly, really be like a broadly socially integrated thing, because at the end of the day, what's that old line from like an old computer company? Like it was like on a plaque or something. A computer can never answer for a mistake, so it must be never put in charge of a decision. Ultimately, that's why. What's going to happen if like the cyber taxi kills someone? Well, what? It's like a whole thing. Like now all the software in every car has to be pulled or investigated. It's like, it doesn't work. You need human drivers. There are things automated driving could be really good for, like obviously trains to a large extent, like subway trains are largely, you know, automated because they're running on a track. There are things that you can do that can be heavily supplemented by or replaced by automation, but this isn't one of them. Also, demonstrating the viability of your cyber car auto taxi thingamajig means basically nothing unless you're able to do it in an environment where it doesn't have any previous information about the road. Because it's really easy to fake that data by giving a car, say, a really, really accurate like roadmap of a specific city or a specific area. If you're doing that, then it's kind of like running off pre-baked information. The difficulty is being able to work around that, the absence of that information in real time. And that's where a lot of these cars suffer, which is why you see so many videos of Tesla's auto driving causing people to like veer off and like go into the wrong lane, or they do like a wide left and the person has to veer it to the left and like brake really hard. It just doesn't work that well.
Ride in the cybercab. There's no steering wheel or pedals.
That's cool. So for these ones, like again, you can't even do anything if it fucks up. Auto driving on a Tesla, if the auto drive fucks up, you just hit the brake and you're like back in control. Yeah, imagine that if you're a passenger and your car starts to go haywire, there's literally nothing you can do except open the door and like jump out.
So I hope this goes well. I think the cost of autonomous transport will be so low that you can think of it like individualized mass transit. The average cost
Individualized mass transit.
of a bus per mile for a city, not the ticket price because that is subsidized, but the average price is about $1 a mile. Whereas the cost of
the cost of running a bus is not $1 per mile. I hope this information helps.
Cybercab, we think probably over time, from the operating cost is probably going to be around 20 cents a mile. And price, including taxes.
So so first of all, saying that it's per mile rather than per minute when you're effectively running like an Uber service is psychotic. Anyone who knows anything about how Uber operates knows that's not how it works. You factor in both. What this is suggesting, and you know he's lying because he lies about everything. Like he's made so many promises that don't work. Okay? To drive, like I was just in Los Angeles. To drive from one point in Los Angeles to another point in Los Angeles that is like a 5-mile distance driven could potentially take well over an hour, depending on the time of day and like where exactly I'm driving. Are you telling me that's going to cost $1? What are you, insane? No, it won't. You're just making that up.
And everything else probably ends up being 30 or 40 cents a mile. So yes, and you will be able to buy one.
How is it, if you can buy, how is it mass transit if it, also, is this not a steering wheel in it? Teslas have like rectangular steering wheel. I thought it didn't have a steering wheel or brakes. That's a screen? Oh, okay. All right. So you can hit like a big red button, brake, if it fucks up? Okay. The idea being that we're all buying them, just renting them out to others. Yeah, because this is like a common, this has been like the Silicon Valley grift for a while, where it's like everything is going to earn you passive income. Yeah, man, it's called like Knife Plus. Rather than just owning your own kitchen knife to use in the kitchen, instead, your knife attaches to a little like dumbwaiter thing on the outside of the house. You can pull it up and use it when you want to, but other people can get on the Knife Plus app, and whenever they need a knife, but they don't have one themselves, they can drive over to your house and borrow it at a selected rate for a given length of time from your house. It's attached to a small like fiber cord, like fishing line that determines how far they pull it and for how long they have it. And when they're done with the knife, they can return it to you. Through this and many similar systems, we can, no one has to own everything or anything, and you can earn passive income for all these basic daily objects. It's funny that people like Elon Musk propagate the like conspiracism around the World Economic Forum. They will own nothing and they will be happy, when this promotes that exact mindset. You will actually not just own basic things that make you happy. Instead, everything has to be part of an app where everyone is making passive income off of everyone else all the time. And, the company that orchestrates it is siphoning off a huge amount of it, of course. Tesla really needs a win, Lamau. Apparently they had to recall 27,000 Cybertrucks for having a laggy rear-view camera. How do you have lag on your camera? It's right there. You're not... It's in system. What's happening to the electrons? They only have to go a few feet.
Yes, exactly. We expect the cost to be below $30,000. I don't
feel the need to respond to this because Elon's just constantly wrong when he says what's the future is going to bring. So he could, like, I think it'll be 30. Okay, I think it'll be 70,000 if you ever release it.
We expect actually to start fully autonomous, unsupervised FSD in Texas and California next year. And that's obviously, that's with the Model 3 and Model Y. And then we expect to be in production with the Cybercab, which is really...
So if you can personally own the Cybercab, but it doesn't have a brake or steering wheel, you are legitimately exclusively beholden to the app to control it. You literally have to say, like, come to me, my cyber taxi, beep, and then it just shows up and you own it, so you're not paying the fee. But like, what if there's traffic in front of your place? Like bad traffic. If you're a normal driver, you can very briefly double park. That's a normal thing. Like if it's basically standstill traffic, it's like, oh, okay, hold on. Vroom, but it, like, what do you do? They recall the car with you in it. Yeah, you're using the cyber taxi and then some dumb on the other side of town is like beep, and you
Highly optimized for autonomous transport in probably, well, I tend to be
the recall was because the rear view cameras took between 6 to 8 seconds to show the feed. 6 to 8? How? What's happening to the electrons? It's just a camera. It's just a camera on the back of the car that shows its feed on the dashboard. We had it's closed circuit television. We had this technology decades ago. Okay. But what if you make it wireless? Is that what they did? Did they make it wireless and then somehow make that also very... I think it's wired. You have a wired connection in the car. Maybe it has to sync Bluetooth every time? Okay. Just keep in mind that if you're watching me right now, YouTube is delivering you my live video feed within likely 2 to 3 seconds. I have it on the very fast setting. You're getting 1080p video anywhere in the world. Tesla had 6 to 8 second delay for a camera feed coming from the same car.
be a little optimistic with timeframes. But in 2026. So, yeah. Before 2027, let me put it that way. When you get in, you'll see like it's really quite a wild experience to just be in a car with no steering wheel, no pedals, no controls.
Horrifying. Literally, go look on YouTube right now, like Tesla auto drive fails or anything like that, and you will find, like, genuinely, this is the only, like, to me, I like the Metropolis front. The only thing to me that saves this is the knowledge that this probably isn't really going to release. I don't really think that it is. You know? We already have a an automated driving system thing in like San Francisco. The guy in chat mentioned it from Philadelphia, and they have cameras all over them. The idea that this is going to work and not just kill 1 million people with this sleek design. Yeah, Waymo, that's what I'm thinking. Waymo. Like, this already doesn't really work that well and people hate them, but this is what it looks like. They take a regular car's chassis and then they put all this on it. So the idea that what is done incompetently with this is going to be done equally or more competently from Tesla with none of those external apparatuses. Don't think so.
And it feels great. Something we're also doing is, and it's really high time we did this, is inductive charging. So the robotaxi has no plug. It just goes over the inductive charger and charges. So, yeah.
Nice. That's great. Even more proprietary charging technology. You literally now cannot charge it without access to their... Like, there's no adapter that you can use to charge it. You have to use this, so you can exclusively use their... Yeah, and much less electrically efficient. Terrible for batteries as well. A plug is better. Yeah, because it makes direct contact. It'll take longer. It's less efficient. You'll waste money because power is being burned on nothing. Nice.
It's kind of how it should be. Oh, and also, what happens if you need a vehicle that is bigger than a Model Y?
And they brought this piece of shit out.
The Robovin.
It is genuinely, like, really ugly. Like, I would say it's actually uglier. This looks like someone made a modern take on, like, the 1960s sci-fi props you would see in movies where the robot was a guy in a robot costume and he would move like this. And I don't mean that in a complimentary way. It's not even like Zerust, you know, retrofuturism. It's just ugly.
Robovin is, we're going to make this, and it's going to look like that. Now, can you imagine?
We're going to make this, it's going to look like that. So in other words, there's a regular car underneath this, and they put an aluminum frame over it.
Imagine going down the streets and you see this coming towards you? That'd be sick.
Why is this music so
This can carry up
loud?
to 20 people, and it can also transport goods. So you can configure it for goods transport within a city or transport of up to 20 people at a time. So this is...
Remember, all like Silicon Valley tech transportation innovations boil down to, guys, we made a train and or bus again, but it's not a train and or bus. It's less efficient and costs infinitely more. Also, this looks horrible to sit in. Does anyone else feel like... First of all, the back benches here, you have no window, you have no sight to the sides, and it's just this like cheap blue light. It looks cheap. God help you if you're in a wheelchair. Oh God, disabled accessibility. Regular buses have that. You think this is gonna have it? Begging you to look at the Waymo parking lot where they all just get confused and honk at each other nonstop. I've seen this.
So I was like, where's that coming from? I looked down and I was like, I think it's coming from the Waymo cars.
Yeah, kind of bizarre, right? Neighbors in San Francisco dealing with some sleepless nights as they say driverless cars in a parking lot nearby are confused. They start honking at each other. Maybe they're just talking. In a statement, Waymo says it's heard complaints. They're working on a fix. That is your rush.
That's great. That's great, man.
It's gonna... the Robovan is what's gonna solve for high density. So if you want to take a sports team somewhere, or...
Can't they just make trains or at least electrified streetcars? No, because these are marketed to and for people who are either rich or think they're going to be rich and don't want to be around poor people. The Cybertruck was explicitly marketed as a post-apocalyptic survival car. The whole point of all of these is to separate the poor from the rich. Trains and buses would be accessible to the poor or even just regular people, which they don't want. They hate you and they want you dead. That's really all there is to it. They hate you and they want you dead.
You're looking to really get the cost of travel down to, I don't know, 5-10 cents a mile, then you can use the Robovan. Some people call it the Robovan, but speaking of robots, so everything we've developed for our cars, the batteries, power electronics, the advanced motors, gearboxes, the software, the AI inference computer, it all actually applies to a humanoid robot. It's the same techniques. It's just a robot with arms and legs instead of a robot with wheels. And we've made a lot of progress.
I like his explanation for this. The AI tech that taxis will use to move is the same as you would use for humanoid robots. What? No. No, it's not. That's not how that works. Yeah, Egg Beater. So these robots, I don't know if they're being controlled right now, but they will be soon. These robots aren't being controlled via AI. They are being puppeted both in voice and in motion. The future is having a Tesla house robot that does dishes at 1/18th the speed of a regular human, and it's controlled by a Filipino who is making 6 cents an hour. This isn't really a joke.
With Optimus. And as you can see, we started with someone in a robot suit, sort of down, and then we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular. Something that
we had all these kinds of presentations 30 years ago in Japan. Yeah, no, none of this is new. You can oh, look, we made a humanoid looking robot and we programmed it to walk forward, or we puppeted it to walk forward. That's not new. It's been around for decades.
Anyone could own. So you could have your own personal R2-D2 C-3PO.
Oh, I want to be clear, by the way. There is basically no task that you would want done on an industrial or personal level that is best done by something with a humanoid frame. I saw this take on Twitter and I agree with it. If you want a house robot to help you and you want it to look like a human, I think it's because you wish you had slaves. I know that's like a harsh take, but I believe it completely. The idea of like automation making your life easier, totally fine. You got it, maybe like a magical dishwasher where literally you just toss them in, they're clean. Poof. Yeah, okay, sure. But that's shaped like a dishwasher. If you want something that looks like this and you can tell it to do dishes, like same old dishes, same old sink, you know, like everything else is the same, but you want like a human looking thing to do it, I think you would have a slave. I think you would want a slave. We already have dishwashers though. Yeah, but they're not like, I don't trust dishwashers in their current state. I don't know why. I've literally never used one in my entire life. Listen, call me proletarian. I wash my dishes by hand. Well, actually, Conyer washes my dishes by hand, but sometimes I help. You know, we divide the chores. It's okay. Now, I didn't necessarily insist that Conyer be shaped like a human being. So, if Conyer was like dishwasher shaped, then it wouldn't, like, I didn't order Conyer from Tesla. Conyer is a bird.
And I think at scale, this would cost something like, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000.
The numbers he throws out there, are you fucking joking? $20,000 to $30,000 futuristic AI tech robot. Are you? Come on, dude. Just say anything. Just say anything. Fake ass numbers.
Probably less than a car is my prediction long term. Now, you know, take us a minute to get to the long term, but fundamentally at scale, the Optimus robot, you should be able to buy an Optimus robot.
See, like shit like this is what I mean when I say you just want a slave. This is exactly what I mean.
Scale,
like
the
this?
Optimus robot, you should be able to buy an Optimus robot.
This is fucking terrifying. And if you don't believe that, if you look at this and you think like, well, that would be cool, I think you're less of a person than me. This is insane to me. It's not about whether or not it's actually a human being with consciousness. I know it's not. It's not like an ethical harm thing. It's that you would turn around and for a moment you would see the silhouette of an unthinking, unfeeling automaton behind you, deliberately sculpted in the shape of a human being. And you would think like, okay, now I'm going to tell it to clean the toilet. And I think that's pretty f***ed up.
For, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So, and what can it do? It'll basically do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids. It can work.
Oh yeah, dude. It can babysit your kids. That's great. That's fantastic, man.
Your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve.
Like Tempest, you just said, we've been making movies about how this is bad since like the 1950s. Like, it's crazy to me. And I know Elon's a fucking idiot, so it's not even just about him, but like all the people who get wrapped up in this, all those sci-fi movies you like, the point of them is to not do this. That's the point of them. Like, that's the message in them. I also saw this on Twitter, which I'm going to recreate now, which is POV. It's 2028. And you mention out loud in your household that you are going to vote Democrat. Red lights from the eyes. You hear powering up in the recharge station in the living room. The AI isn't anywhere near where it needs to be for this. Do you know what this really is? Just a way to get around immigration law? I mean, that's genuinely a possibility. Yeah, haptic suit in Bangladesh. We've done this already with like the Amazon shopping carts, but a big part of like late stage capitalism is how do we recreate slavery, but not in a way that makes people feel bad about it. You know, that's bad. Like, that's genuinely a huge part of it. You know. You want to cut down on labor costs. You ever see The Outer Limits, Simon Says, where the robot kid pets a cat to death? That's where we're headed. No, I haven't, but just compare Musk's robots to Boston Dynamics. Oh, God, no. Comparing Musk's robots to Boston Dynamics is an insult to Boston Dynamics. Boston Dynamics are actually interested in robotics as a field, you know? Not in, like, shitty... Like, look at how poorly they move. Like, look at how awkwardly and artificially they have to position themselves. Of course they have to. But terrified me as a kid? Yeah, well, fairly. Elon's a showman, Boston Dynamics are engineers, yeah. The way you can tell his robots are bullshit is if they were real, he'd be focused on selling them for commercial use cases instead of showing them being used as house pets. Well, I'm sure that some of the most insufferably priced and designed restaurants in Los Angeles and San Francisco are going to buy a few of them so you can get a burger served to you by a Tesla robot or something. I'm not even saying it is a moral thing. I'm just saying that this was made in the image of God, and I think if you're shaped like this, you should have a soul. And if you are shaped like this and you don't have a soul, then I think that your existence is abominable. You know, that's I think it's normal to think that. Yeah, apparently all these robots were controlled via haptic suit. The haptic suit control is interesting. There are things you could do that would be interesting with that. I don't know. This is kind of like everyone's first thought, but like, I don't know, bomb defusal maybe, or rescue and recovery. But ideally, if you can directly puppet a robot like that, you would want it to be a cool robot that can do things and not a shitty robot that can't do anything. Yeah, it's not precise enough to anything like crazy extent like surgery. What if you could like haptically control a big machine to like dig through rubble? Maybe there's a way to do that. I don't know. That could be cool. I'm not anti that element of the technology. I'm anti everything else, frankly. Maybe even some police like situations, you know? I don't know. I know this is a little naive of me because if police departments had that, they would just strap like Gatling guns on top of it and kill everyone in the building. But theoretically, you could like, I don't know. There's like a standoff, and the cops are like, "All right, deploy RoboCop," and the RoboCop just walks forward, gets shot 500 times, and then tasers them. I know I'm being naive. I know they would just kill them. I know the police department would spend like $1 billion every year on that like product, and then it would go haywire and kill a bunch of innocent people, and then it would spend another $1 billion on the settlements. And I know. I wasn't born yesterday. I'm just saying it'd be nice if it could be done nice properly. Oh, hold on. I didn't even get to the damn punchline of this whole segment. That's my fault. Editors, you got to bring it in. You got to make sure this is in the damn thing. The stock price. That's right. Boop. Boop. Markets open on Friday. Kablamo. Stock's worth 10% less. Or 9%, I guess. Pretty huge drop. I mean, in a single... People weren't happy with this. Wow, I didn't realize this was that bad. Invest in Tesla now. Buy the dip. No, don't buy the dip. This is not financial advice. Why, though? I don't get stocks. Well, look at Uber's stock. Oh, no. Did it go up because... People were waiting for a while for like the Tesla Cybercar, and they were not impressed with this demonstration, which makes sense because it was a really bad demonstration if you have any sense at all. Quite a huge tick up from 78 to 85, 86. That's a pretty big jump. Well, for both then, Benjamin. The short would definitely affect it as well. But anyway, I guess I am surprised that the presentation was bad enough that even a Tesla investor would be unsatisfied with it. On the downside, it means Benjamin has less money to give to me and PV. So, you know how it is, folks. You get your ups, you get your downs.